All right, you spam, you get out.
But they walked their ass to the polls and they voted for the lesser of two evils.
Like, this didn't happen.
Sorry.
It doesn't seem like it.
They got that message. The left, by and large, did. Not everyone, and I condemn the individuals who did it. And certainly maybe enthusiasm played some role, but I don't have evidence that the left like cost Kamala the election. So why do I think that there's evidence that materially they're going to cost AOC like some kind of election in the future, some hypothetical election? I just don't see them as having that swayability for the left.
I just told you, in an election, a national election where there's 150 million people voting and it's decided by 40,000 votes, and you don't even want to entertain the notion that maybe like
we've not min-maxed lefty support for Kamala Harris, which could be outcome determinative.
They actively work against the party.
But Hutch, we can agree with all that. Again, these are compatible. Like, for instance, what you...
Is it really farming to? I mean, like it's like one of these things where it's like J Stoke is reacting to Destiny, so I have to react to J Stoke, react to Destiny, and then J Stoke is reacting to me, reacting to him, reacting to Destiny, and then J Stoke is reacting to me, reacting to him, reacting to Destiny. It's just like,
you brought up earlier, and I thought it was probably the best one.
Like the DNC was even protested by the oh god, what was the name of the movement? It was one of the Palestinian movements. Somebody name it. What was it called? Hassan was out there with them literally before going in. Oh, the uncommitted movement.
Point that you made was the idea that there's evidence to suggest that probably 2 or 3 million people who voted for Biden decided not to vote because of essentially Israel and Palestine was like their #1 issue. And this seemed to be a group of overwhelmingly progressive people because they said that they would have rather voted for somebody like Sean Fain or AOC or something for president. But I think that's like in part one of the big reasons why I say like even that criticism I don't think is very good, because I don't think that AOC can plausibly be framed to this group of people as like someone who's like a soft pussy on Israel Palestine. Like this is somebody who says, look, Israel's committing a genocide. Netanyahu's a war criminal. She'd probably commit to like
we would
not allowing.
All,
like she'd probably commit to like.
That doesn't matter though. These people don't want just that. These people want the abolition of Israel as a state. That's the starting point.
You're making my point for me. She has this strong position on Israel-Palestine, and it's not enough for these fucking lunatics.
But
we agree with that.
We agree that it's not enough for online leftist content creators, right? So I would agree with that. But I don't think that in the course of a long campaign, and to Josiah's point, who even knows if she's going to run for president, but nonetheless, let's just assume that she is. During the course of the long-term campaign that she's going to be a part of, I don't think that you can plausibly represent to these people that AOC's history is like particularly weak on Israel-Palestine when she has all of these like consistent statements that she's made over time. And like you said, she voted against the bill in the first place. She says she wants to strip offensive aid to Israel. Like I think for a lot of these uncommitted people, these actually existing voters that decided not to vote for Kamala Harris, to Pisco's point, they overwhelmingly decided to vote for her. But for the ones that didn't, it's not clear to me that there's much evidence to suggest that like this would make the difference between them.
Like imagine if all of these people instead were every day covering the conservatives and shitting on insane and unhinged shit that the Trump admin was doing. Imagine the difference.
Not voting or voting for AOC. Like I think they would overwhelmingly vote for AOC at higher margins than Kamala.
Wait, so to be clear, they don't do that, right? Like Live and Learn, like I don't even know what Live and Learn talks about. Do they talk about Democrats all day? They don't cover conservatives though, right? Fuck me, dude. I mean, like, each of them do talk about how bad the conservatives are. They each do that. But the thing is that they don't, like, fuck. Like, maybe they criticize the Democrats more? Yikes, dude.
Well, it just seems like to Hutch's point. Let me ask you this. To Hutch's point.
Oh, am I gonna get some backup? Holy shit!
I think what Hutch is saying is, I don't think Hutch would dispute the fact that the left by and large supported Kamala. That'd be a really dumb point, right? Hutch, you agree? The left by and large,
broadly, the left,
right? So I think what he's saying is he feels that there can be some, some juice that we can squeeze out of that coalition a bit more that would be outcome determinative in close elections.
The opportunity cost.
Okay.
What?
The opportunity cost, not just what you lost, but what you could have gained. Is that what you're saying?
Right. That we've not min-maxed that coalition out, and if these leftist content creators would be a bit more reasonable or a bit more temperate in their criticism of AOC, that we could probably get those, tens of thousands or hundreds of thousands of votes theoretically to make the difference. Do you disagree with that? That we have not reached our ceiling for optimal.
Of course not. Yeah, I mean, of course, if every progressive content creator played perfect ball and was willing to, be more pragmatic and think about these things a little bit more long term and sensibly, we would have better like net electoral outcomes. But I think that too. But I don't think that I've ever said anything differently. I mean, obviously that's true. Hutch.
I'm sure Pisco would agree. But hang on.
Here's the rub, though. Here's the rub, though, Hutch. By that logic, you're going to be hoisted by your own petard, because now we have to moderate our criticism in vision of the optimal strategy. And so for us, like if we're going to apply this lens, like is the best thing
shaken, not stirred.
Keep the fire going. We have to remind people you sometimes fight fire with fire.
Stumbling through life. Thank you so much for the genuine super chat. Thank you so much. I always appreciate these. That warms my heart. I appreciate the $5. Also, great username. Okay, Stumbling Through Life is a perfect username. Okay, I have to say that. Thank you.
For building a coalition that protects AOC and protects a candidate to attack all these creators, or like in our wildest dreams convince them. So now I think, Hutch, if we're going to apply this lens, is the best strategy for us under this theory, right, which is where we're just reacting for pure outcome determined nature. Is
you stumble into my
life? About to say,
sure.
Should we not be covering the negative coverage because that's the actual bad thing? No.
The best strategy for us
I'm legally blind, so I stumble more than most. How are you blind? Do you have some kind of like cataracts or keratoconus, or is it like, because I'm kind of legally blind without my glasses in a way.
To attack all these creators and burn our bridges with them.
Oh my god, dude. It's actually the most cucked position. This might be of all the positions you could take, that might be the worst one of all of them. Like, you've identified the worst
Being blind
possible
does
position.
suck.
We're going to apply this lens. Is the best strategy for us under this theory, right, which is where we're just reacting for pure outcome determined nature, is the best strategy for us to attack all these creators and burn our bridges with them? Yes or no?
At this point, I feel like, yeah. At this point,
Okay.
yeah.
Holy fucking based. Holy shit. Because it's either you follow Hutch here and you say, we have to have a positive standard that can build the
Dude, how, like, where would Live and Learn be without Hutch, dude? Like, the thing is that, like, love him or hate him, he is the one that provides the content. I feel like a lot of people on Live and Learn are there because they have discourse, right? Like, how boring would it be if they were just, like, sitting around, like, doing nothing? Like, isn't it just always Hutch that constantly disagrees with everyone and has to fight everyone on everything? Just makes no sense. Anyway. I have a rare condition called Azor. I have 10% of my visual field left. Tunnel vision, randomly starting to 2018. Oh, wow. You're like blind then. Jesus. Crazy. Yeah. I mean, tough.
party, right? Or the Pisco line of thought is, even if these people want to destroy the party, isn't it better if there's at least more of us, right? This unwillingness, this is one of the strengths of the conservative movement. The conservative movement, like, people say, like, oh, the right doesn't purity test, the left does. The right does purity test. They purity test on voting for Trump. The conservative movement has no problem cutting you out, primarying you, excising you from the fucking party. Even if you were fucking MAGA #1, okay? My mom would have fucked Kevin McCarthy before that whole House vote fiasco. And now
It's wild how Hutch is the only one on that podcast that hasn't become retarded. I can see my phone still play video games. Worst part is, like, not being able to drive. Yes, that would be pretty bad. Yeah, that's true. So, okay, right. So the thing is that, so my opinion, all right, on why they are so, like, pro lefty now is probably because ever since they separated from Destiny, because Destiny had, like, the anti-lefty kind of thing there, maybe they felt as though they couldn't appeal to the lefty crowd when they were still, like, when they were still associated with Destiny, right? Because the lefty crowd can just say, well, you're associated with Destiny, so therefore, why the fuck should we take you seriously, right? So it became harder for them to grow their base. But then I think that after separating from Destiny, even though they have lost the connection to Destiny, maybe they feel as though, like, oh yeah, you know what? Shit. Well, now we have, like, this entire audience of people who are able to follow us because they're able to give us a clean start, right? So I think that is what's going on in their minds, okay? In particular to that, I think that they want to grow their audience like that, okay? Like, for example, the Vanguard is anti-Destiny, right? To be fair, the Vanguard is anti-Destiny. Why is Hutch the only one who is anti-Vanguard? Right? I mean, at some point, like, it just feels as though you're, like, prioritizing, I don't know, clout and audience growth over everything else. It's just sucks, you know? Sorry that happened to you. Yeah, it does suck. It's true. Pisco doing co-streams with Straight Raid was a dead giveaway. I agree. And you know, Hutch did also have Straight Raid on, but they debated. It wasn't out of some kind of, like, it wasn't some kind of, like, vanity stream, right? They debated, right? Like, Hutch was expressing open disagreement with Straight Raid. It's different.
he's like persona non grata. All MAGA fucking hates him, right? People, the conservatives have no problem drawing these lines in the sand. Like, oh, you don't want to vote for Trump? That's cool. Yeah.
If it's really so simple as grifting for a commie audience, then nothing of value was lost. I don't think they're aiming for commies. They're aiming for, like, Bernie bros. I think that's what they're aiming for. Also, like, I think also what they're trying to do is, like, and it is a loss, right? Because now they're in addition to everyone else, they're also spreading like lefty propaganda or just like saying stupid ass shit all day, right? Like the thing is that you could have had more pro establishment liberal voices who are up and coming, who are going to become like larger content creators and blow up and then get to be like that. Well, the thing is now it feels as though it's now just gone, you know? It feels like Hutch is now the only one who can carry that dream of having like a fucking liberal, just a purely like pure liberal perspective, right? But yeah, I mean, like, fuck. Obviously, we don't want more fucking lefties in the world. Life's full of surprises. Yeah, sure. We all have got our struggles. No, they did a fucking they did a fucking poll study one day, and they were like, okay, are disabled people or people without limbs happier or not? Generally, they are happier because they first get used to it, and then they find different ways of getting around it, and blah, blah. I mean, not to say, obviously, anyone would want their vision back or want their limbs back or something like that, right? Obviously. But the thing is that, like, maybe life puts you through some situations that improve you as a human being, and you have to go through some mental fortitudes in order to improve yourself, and by doing so you do become happier, right? Otherwise, maybe if you didn't lose a limb, you didn't lose your eyesight, you didn't go through these physical like tasks, mental tasks, in order to overcome, you know, stuff like that, right? Like losing your eyesight is like dying, you know? It's kind of like dying, right? Yeah. Did that stop? I mean, did losing hearing stop Beethoven from composing? No.
It's on site, by the way, if I see you.
It's life altering, yeah.
Taking your head off, motherfucker. Not voting for Trump? You're not welcome in this household. And then on the left, it's like, well, if these people want to protest and shit on all of our fucking candidates and not even tell you to vote for Kamala, but like, shouldn't we like be trying to build a bridge with them? No! Definitionally not. No, you don't want these people. They shouldn't have any say whatsoever. It would be healthier for the media environment. It would be healthier to say there is a right-wing media apparatus, there is a socialist media apparatus, and then you have your center-left or your left-wing media apparatus. We can't even say left or lefty or leftist. Those words have been co-opted by tankies. I shouldn't have to go on a fucking podcast and say, hey, what's up? Oh, okay, I'm Destiny. Hold on. I don't believe in trans 4-year-olds. I don't believe in the destruction of fucking Israel as a state. I don't believe that capitalism is evil and every single billionaire should be dragged to the streets and murdered and raped and all landlords. Okay, now that we got all that out of the way, let's have a conversation. Like this bullshit.
Yep.
Who attack all these creators and burn our bridges with them? Yes or no?
At this point, I feel like, yeah. At this point,
okay.
Yeah.
So you think that?
Yeah. I can't speak for you guys.
How does that follow?
You don't need to burn bridges, right? Like I'm not saying you need to like personally attack these people or you know call them names or whatever, but certainly attack these arguments. Yeah.
Oh yeah, but hang on. I'm attacking these arguments. I attack those arguments. But like, if your point is they need to calibrate themselves to be electoral maximizers, then so do we, right? And if we do that, then we need to be a little calibrated as well, don't we?
But that's not. You don't electorally maximize by drawing unions with people that don't support you electorally.
Yeah, so like this is what I was saying, right? Like it's just like why the fuck would you have anyone in your coalition that doesn't have your best interests at heart? You want people who actually are good faith, right? What you're looking the word that Hutch should have used is good faith, right? These people are not people who care about voting. They're not people they don't have faith in the system. You need people who actually believe in what they're saying, what they're voting for, and to have confidence that, yeah, voting, you can, you know, achieve an outcome that you want out of voting. Why would you align yourself with, why would you force yourself with aligning with people that don't want to align with you? It just makes no sense. You want to appeal to people who don't vote? It just makes no sense, you know? But like, yeah, it's just like I don't know what's going on between these people. Okay, like it's just like they're just completely delusional. Is there a valid Discord link that I'm not seeing? Discord.gg/Foodshops. Okay, that's my vanity link. If not, you can. Here you go.
That's crazy. Could you imagine? Could you
Right.
imagine a conservative?
Thanks. Yep. If you join my server, go on there and debate like the socialists and tankies in my server, okay? Believe it or not, I tolerate them in my server, okay? But they are intolerable to my emotions, okay? Go and serve them a new hole, okay? Or something. Do something. Jesus.
What was the phrase that he said? I'm not gonna tell you who to vote for? Fuck. What did he say here? What's the keyword I'm looking for?
Good faith. You're looking for good faith,
did I
right?
forget the president? No, I did not forget the president. I voted for the president. I'm just not telling you who I voted for. I am not going to influence your opinion in any direction unless it is to vote por Trump, in which case I will tell you not to do it. Anyway, what?
Like how do you call yourself an actual like political activist in any kind of sense whatsoever when like he's saying shit like this, dude? Like you're really telling me that you want to align and defend people like this who doesn't even like Hassan vote for Trump? I'm actually starting to suspect so. I'm not joking. I'm not joking. I'm actually starting to suspect it. So, to be clear, Hassan is a known liar. That's number one. Number two, not only is he a known liar, he told Ethan Klein that he voted for Kamala Harris, right? Well, if you're a known liar and you told Ethan Klein that you voted for Kamala Harris, I'm starting to think that you voted for Trump. Yes? Is that such a controversial thing, considering how you're a tanky who is an accelerationist? Is it not too reasonable to say that, yeah, maybe you voted for Trump?
I'm shaking and crying right now.
Yikes.
It's disgusting that you're calling him by that last name. You should be
Like what Republican
Yeah,
influencer
what
would
Republican says
ever
this? Yes.
ever? This is
Yep.
insane.
They would
These are the
never
people
say
you
this.
can't even tell somebody
Or Stein, yeah.
to vote for the Democratic Party.
Listen, you might be physically stumbling through life, okay, stumbling, but these people are tripping, okay? They are stumbling harder than you, okay?
We're at deporting people to Sikot. We're at the worst position we could possibly be in with Israel-Palestine. We're at the most corrupt DOJ we've ever fucking had, probably. Like, it's just insane. That's just insane to me. That like, no, these are the people that we desperately have to try to appeal to.
Themselves to be electoral maximizers, then so do we, right? And if we do that, then we need to be a little calibrated as well, don't we?
Yeah, don't you?
Yeah, I mean, I would sure. Yeah,
Oh!
but wait, there's all kinds of considerations here. Like, I'm down with having like a complex kind of like nuanced sort of like approach to this kind of thing. But I guess like what
You know, Pisco is also so fucking annoying. Like, if only he wasn't so fucking smug with his stupid fucking smile, and he just thinks he's correct, and he's just arguing in bad faith with that stupid fucking smug smile. You know what? I wish that I was blind, okay? I wish I was blind because I wouldn't have to see Pisco's fucking mug, okay? He's so fucking smug and so disgusting. God, just look at him. Just, ugh, gross.
what I'm confused about is like I get you guys to concede that these are incredibly close elections, and we already know that the stakes are insanely high. And I just want to like address something you said. It sounded like you were saying like I want these people to never criticize AOC, but that's not what I'm saying. Like it depends on how you
Accelerationists want the drip feeding social programs gone. Yes, the reason they want programs that keep people alive gone is because more people can wake up and realize that capitalism is not the way. By killing more people, you make people realize that capitalism is not it. That is, they unironically support more people dying, like unironically, yeah.
you criticize them, and if the critique is actually based in any kind of like pragmatic or real.
Well, here's a question. Why do you think some communist audiences vote for Trump? There is a thing called MAGA communism. Why do you think that's a thing? Because they're accelerationists. That's why, right?
Realistic or any kind of sense in that manner. Like this
And,
is
and,
just
and
a
are they
stupid
saying?
critique. It's a
and
dumb
if you,
critique.
And if you read what they're saying, again, we can go back to the critique. I don't agree with it. So you're shadowboxing me, right? So like, I don't agree with this critique of AOC. I defend my queen AOC, against all these people every day. So we don't actually need to have that conversation again.
By the way, if you support Queen AOC, then you also totally support like eventually changing your fucking viewpoints to like not be fucking cringe and appeal to more like people. But like clearly, I don't know, like you're not even supporting stuff. You're not even defending your queen. Like if she really is your queen and you want a white knight for her, which is fine, okay. You're not even doing that. You're not defending AOC from all the flack that the other fucking liberal commentators, liberal leftist leaning commentators are giving AOC, right? Kyle Kalinske, Crystal Ball, Cheng Yuger, right? They have abandoned AOC. They have disavowed AOC, right? Like it's not even close. It's just not even like you can't say AOC is your queen and just not defend your queen, dude. Like
About your argument, which I accept, just like the mansion thing, right?
But you
I accept the
minimize.
mansion argument.
You
But no, but like, why spend time if we agree on something? Right? Like on the mansion
Laziest
thing,
white
why
knight
spend time on it?
ever.
Like we agree. Like I agree on that. Like I agree
No,
on
no,
your
but in
pragmatic
this,
argument. So let's put it.
in this case, your instinct was to immediately minimize. It's not that big of a deal. You're
So now we're
getting
arguing
worked up.
about,
You're getting worked up over these lefties again. Is what you guys tell me. That's what you guys tell me, right? Don't shake your head, no.
Well, actually, Hutch, respectfully, you started this fight with us. You picked this fight with us.
I can explain why.
I'm
So-
just expressing my
yeah,
opinions.
no,
That's
no,
what's going on
so-
here. Why would
but-
you shake your
There's a clear communism to Nazi pipeline. Look at the Hassan and Jackson Hinkle shit. Sure. I mean, just look at Wintermute on our own server, okay? This person is the closest thing we have on the server to literal fucking Nazis or whatever the
head?
fuck,
No,
right?
that's what you do
So
tell me week after week.
he
Here's how
supports
getting triggered by the lefties
genocide,
again. You do say that.
No,
war
no, Hutch, you
crimes,
can, whatever you want to. I don't think I've ever said that.
discriminates
I mean, maybe
against
you
other
can
I
go,
might have
but,
said that.
races. I mean,
what I've
he's
said
as
though
close
is
as you
I'm making
get.
a very descriptive claim, right? Now you can disagree with the empirics, right? But I'm just saying that look, to the extent that I'm like minimizing it, right? I think that it's just like fully appropriate to minimize it because I don't think that this will actually,
Well, Luminar, thanks for giving the subs in Kick Chat, buddy.
create like a very, very large headache for AOC in the long term. And
They
again,
threw
I could be
fake blood
Hutch,
outside of her office
you
and called her
can
a
find-
genocide
Hutch,
We
supporter.
condemn it. We
Hutch, you
condemn
can-
it.
Hutch,
No,
you
but
can
I'm just
find a
saying
bunch of crazy-
there are very real consequences to this shit.
Hutch,
They're not-
Hutch, there were people during Mamdani's election who showed up to his events and said, fuck you for accepting AOC's endorsement. She's a genocide supporter. She supports the Iron Dome. This was literally equipped during Mamdani's campaign. And people like that existed during Mamdani's election. People like that existed when AOC ran for re-election
Bernie.
in 2024. People like that existed when Bernie's run
Progressives
happened.
win elections, therefore this is not
and-
that big of a deal. What is this logic?
No.
What-
Hutch, what the fuck? Obviously, look, Hutch, I'm not saying this might not make, 0.5% difference or something like that. I'm just saying that I don't think that it's going to be like a huge broad, like, AOC's political career is going to be like substantially cut back by this.
Why are we just talking about only AOC's career? Like, that's not the only thing that fucking matters. Read their chat on screen, it's unhinged.
It is pretty
No
fucking
kings, but
unhinged.
Queen AOC is fine. Shake my head. Condemn it harder, dumbass. This shit makes me tired.
It's like, that's all I'm saying. And I think that's actually pretty.
But they're bad though. Thanks. Because the whole audience is probably lefties. This is what happens, by the way. When I fight with my audience, I'm the only content creator on the fucking internet that does this, apparently, which is fine. I don't give a fuck. I'll have a smaller audience for it. Okay? I'm the only one who doesn't play this stupid fucking game of like, if I criticize a certain side, I know that I'm going to pick up people that are way on the other side of me. And every now and then, we will have an ethnic cleansing of those people. And I will tweet unhinged stuff. I will drop some N-bombs, the bad ones. Okay, and I'll do whatever I need to do to set the record straight so that people know, hey, by the way, I've been shitting on these people a lot, and if you've joined me, that's cool. But if you're part of those people, just know I don't fucking like you either, motherfucker. Okay, and it's good to do that, I think, because it shows people where I stand, and hopefully my community is a little bit, hopefully tighter, the Taliban tribe or whatever. But like you can tell, I haven't even been watching the chat.
Yeah, I mean, like this. It's like pruning your audience out of like ideology, right? Like what you're essentially doing is that you're taking like a hot-tempered sword and you're like you're like trying to bend it straight, right? So you keep on like slamming it with a hammer while like the iron is hot, and then it just bends the other way a little bit too much, and then you just slam it back, right? Like fuck, you keep doing it until it's straight as possible. There's always like a sharper edge. There's always like a fucking finer sword, right? Or whatever the fuck. It's you like no one wants a fucking crooked sword, right? You want to refine your audience until it becomes like something where you want it to be, right? Like fuck, like this kind of stuff is like the whole fucking like audience crafting shit is a real thing. Like it actually is a skill, knowing how to craft your audience, right? In the right way so then they don't become sycophants, right? Like that's a skill. That's a skill you have to practice. It's not just like a lazy fucking thing that you don't like do or something, right? But